Romantic entanglements. A kind-hearted boy captures the hearts of 4 girls, but not everything is as it seems. Shadows from the past begin to stir, and now they're all fighting for the same guy. Let's start. Vacations end and classes begin. Juntong receives a message from Juju saying she's back and will pick him up that day. This surprises Juntong and he invites her to dinner. We see a flashback of Juntong in which we can see Juju. Juntong says that thanks to her, he was able to enter university. Juntong quickly heads home to change clothes and finds Li Xia outside. He thinks she is waiting for someone, but when he leaves the house, she is still there. He looks at her and she seems a little familiar. He asks her if they had met before, to which she does not respond. Juntong walks away, but remembers that the girl belonged to the idol group Dream Suite. His friend Guo Ju was a big fan and was heartbroken when she retired. The girl tells him she is indeed her, threatens him with a lighter, and asks if he has a problem with her. Juntong tells her that's not the case and explains it's a misunderstanding. To prove it, he does a dance for her. Juntong says goodbye and leaves as he has a date with Juju. Li Xia tries to stop him, but it's too late. Juntong sees Juju outside the meeting place, very cold, and tells her she could have gone in first. The date begins and Juntong tells Juju what happened. The topic changes and they congratulate each other on their achievements. Juju tells Juntong that she heard the head of the academic affairs office is very strict and that if he has any doubts, he could ask him. Juntong asks Juju if she has a boyfriend, to which she responds, "Do you want a beating?" Juntong apologizes and invites her to his apartment in case she wants to play board or mystery games and have a good time. Juju hits him and tells him she's leaving if that's what he wants, and Juntong chokes but feels very happy. They finish dinner and we see it snowing. Gallantly, Juntong gives Juju his scarf and tells her she can return it tomorrow. On the way home, Juntong sees Li Xia outside the house again, very late at night. She approaches him and tells Juntong not to tell anyone she's there or she'll blow his head off. She enters the house and collapses. Juntong, worried, immediately calls an ambulance. The next day, someone knocks on the door. It's Li Xia, who bought breakfast after they stayed all night at the hospital. She invites him to have breakfast together, but Juntong closes the door and panics at the sudden kindness. At the university at the end of the first class, the professor tells them not to forget to buy the manuals. Juntong texts Juju to go out, but Juju apologizes and tells him she forgot her scarf and is busy with that semester's group project. His friends tease him saying his girlfriend rejected him. He defends himself by saying she's very busy. Juju remembers what happened on the date, but a classmate pulls her out of her thoughts, asking her if they buy the banners for the freshman party. They leave, and we can see how Juju deliberately left the scarf. Upon arriving home, Juntong is surprised by Xia. She asks him how his class went. Juntong leaves, thinking that so much kindness has bad intentions. The next day, Juntong is late for class, and a few feet away is Xia saying, "Good morning." We see how, continuously, on different occasions, Xia shows too much interest in him. Juntong fails to see Juju, whom he so wants to see, but he does see that Xia went to his university asking for him. Everyone admires her, as she is very beautiful to behold. Juntong takes her hand and leads her to a secluded spot to ask her how she found his classroom, and she replies that she heard him when he called the ambulance. Juntong honestly tells her that he already likes someone and that he won't be able to be with her. She laughs and tells him that she simply wants to be his friend. Juntong asks her why him if there are more girls in her apartment, but she says she rented the whole thing for herself and pays for 3 people in total. Juntong jokes that she's very rich and now he does want to be her friend. Xia says the entertainment world left her with no desire to meet anyone, but she wants to change. He asks for her number to keep in touch. On the way home, Juntong formally tells her that she looks in a good mood, to which Xia tells him not to refer to her formally. Juntong speaks to her informally, but Xia silences him by putting her finger on his lips. She teases him, saying she wanted to be naughty. Xia tells him that she's glad to know he already likes someone because, if not, he would misinterpret her. As they walk, other people admire Li Xia's beauty. Juntong gets a little uncomfortable and keeps his distance. Xia suddenly approaches and asks him what would happen if she fell in love with him. He replies that it would be impossible. She says nothing is impossible. Juntong really wants to tell Guoju what has happened to him these days. Later, a stranger asks him if the girl he was with was his girlfriend. He asks him to introduce her. He replies that she is not his girlfriend, and that he does not know her very well. The stranger tries to get him drunk to get more information. He takes it as a challenge and drinks a lot. A call comes in, and it is Xia, telling him that it sounds like a good atmosphere, asking when he will return. The stranger approaches him and takes the phone, asking if it's the beautiful girl. This disconcerts Xia. The man ends up vomiting. Juntong wonders where Juju is. In the distance, he seems to see her, but it's actually Xia with a bottle in her hand. She approaches, and Juntong asks her how she knew where he was. The man pushes him and introduces himself to the girl. Xia recognizes the man's voice and asks him why he's so embarrassed. After this, she takes Juntong's hand and takes him away. The stranger stops him and stands between them. The stranger tries to intimidate her, saying that if she's scared, he'll eat her. Xia responds that he should be scared of the bottle she holds in her hand. The drunk man mocks and tries to touch her, but Juntong stops him and takes the bottle, offering more drink to the drunk man. He drinks it all, and the boys take the opportunity to run away. They rest in a corner and he asks Xia what she was trying to do with that bottle, because the police could have caught them. Xia starts crying, saying that she always gets into trouble when she leaves home. Juntong asks her if she really blows people's heads off, and she tells him it's a secret and she needs a friend when she's in trouble. Juntong tells her he wants to be friends with rich people. He also asks her how she found his location. She tells him there's a custom of making a poster of their majors before the freshman party. They stop at a poster that says School of Liberal Arts, and he runs, thinking Juju will be there. Juju looks apparently very happy to see Juntong, but she was actually happy to see Li Jia and shouts her name aloud. This surprises Xia, as she doesn't want anyone to know her secret identity. Everyone starts wondering why she's there. Juju tells him she has a friend who is a big fan of hers. Juju realizes the situation and apologizes. Xia, enraged, asks Juntong who she is. She thinks he did it on purpose, calls her unpleasant, and leaves. Juju asks Juntong if he did something wrong, and he tells her it's not his fault. They keep looking at each other and blush. It gets late and the bus is no longer in service. They try to call a taxi, but no one answers. Juju's parents are conservative and will be very upset if she doesn't get home. They arrive at Xia's house and beg her to please talk to her parents and pretend to be her friend. Xia tells him, "Why don't you tell the ones who were with her?" Juntong tells her that they are probably very drunk now and that's why they don't answer. And the only friend he has is her. Xia accepts and talks to Juju's parents. Juntang and Juju talk about where they are going to sleep. Xia hears them from the door and tells them to come in as she has guest blankets. Juju and Xia apologize to each other and realize they love each other very much. Xia's temperature rises when she drinks, so she decides to go outside. Juntang says not to go out like that and to cover up. Xia says no, but ends up putting it on her head. They talk about how she met Juju, and Xia gets sad because she hasn't been able to maintain a relationship. She says that those who promised to be with her eventually left her alone. Juntong at that moment begins to feel attracted to Xia and wants to know her more. The next day, Juntong finds himself vomiting from drinking so much. When he sees Xia, he tells her eyes are very swollen and asks her about Juju. She replies that Juju took the first bus in the morning and that she couldn't smell of alcohol because she would be scolded. Xia looks for her lighter and Juntong asks her if the cigarette pack is hers, to which she says she should have thrown it away a long time ago and throws them into the toilet. Juntong believes those cigarettes belong to someone else, but who would that person be? What happened to Li Xia in the past? Xia catches his attention in the cutest way, making Juntong run away and reject everything that's going through his mind. A month after all this drama, at the university, they ask him where his girlfriend is. Even the stranger asks him. Soon after, Juju and Xia approach. Juntong has a bad feeling about this. They invite him to look at the cherry blossoms. On the way, Xia gets excited about the cherry blossoms, taking photos. Juju and Juntong are a little embarrassed by this. Xia says she has no friends who care about her, so they quickly start taking photos. Xia asks Juntong to take photos of her. Juntong realizes how different she is and starts comparing her to Juju. At the end of the day, Juntong asks Juju if they can go study together for the exam. Juju tells him it would be better if he studied with his classmates. They say goodbye and leave. Later, Xia shows him a beautiful photo of Juju and asks him to please send it to her, and Xia gets jealous. Xia tells him that it's very obvious that he's in love with her and asks him if he doesn't know the reason why she doesn't want to meet him alone in the library. Xia tries to tell him something, but Juntong goes ahead saying that he knows she doesn't want to go out with her at all. In Juntang's memories, we see Juju giving Juntong the scarf, and her friend says that scarf was on the table the whole time. Juju tells him not to talk anymore and says goodbye. Afterward, we see how Juntong invites Juju to watch a horror movie, but Juju rejects him, saying she doesn't watch horror movies. Juntong wonders if that's her favorite movie, why wouldn't she want to go see it? Juju introduces Juntong as her younger brother. He realizes that they only see each other when someone else is with them, and concludes that she doesn't feel anything for him. Juju on the train sees the photos and recalls those moments, but deletes the images where he appears with her. Xia takes his hand to go home. Juntong gets so nervous that he bumps into a pole. We see Xu Yunze at Juntong's house. Since he doesn't have a girlfriend, he invites him to the social club because a friend of his isn't going. Juntong is in his room when Xia enters without permission. She asks him if he's going out tonight to shower soon, because she has something for him. Xia wants him to be the most attractive man of the night and gets him ready to see how attractive he can be. Xia tells him she won't let him have a girlfriend because if he's in a relationship, they won't be able to have fun like this. Juntong tells her it doesn't matter because they're friends. Xia contradicts him, saying that friends don't hold hands like they do. Juntong notices she's flirting with him and wonders if he's the only one she treats like this, if she's faking it or if she's really like that. At the party, we can see Kui Roni regretting going that day, but when Juntong enters, he makes a big impact on her. She constantly looks at him while the other girls tease him. Juntong sings a song for being the last to arrive. Surprisingly, Juntong doesn't sing badly at all, and everyone listens intently. Roni is captivated by Juntong's charms and wonders if she should take the initiative. Everyone pairs up. Juntong sees a piercing on the floor which belongs to Roni. He asks her how many she has. She tells him 6 and that they don't hurt much. Juntong says the most painful part is right there. She asks him how he knows and gets closer to see if he has piercings. This moment is interrupted when Xu Yunze invites them to play a drinking game and then kiss. Each couple drinks, and when it's Juntang and Ruoni's turn, Ruoni remembers the failed relationship she had. She came hoping to find a good guy to forget what happened, but in the end she decides not to kiss him. The friends tease. She gathers courage and tries again, but Juntang stops her saying he has never kissed a girl, giving a stupid excuse about people making fun of his first kiss being with an unknown girl. After all, Ruoni ends up very dizzy and Juntang escorts her home. On the way, Ruoni asks him if he's never had a girlfriend. He tells her he was in love, but that love doesn't always work out. To which she says she recently broke up with her boyfriend, and that love doesn't always work out. Juntang approaches and takes her hair to see if she's crying. He realizes her hair is very soft, so he wonders if Xia's hair is like that. They say goodbye. Juntang sees a message on his phone from Xia telling him to behave. When he goes to reply, his phone dies. This leaves Juntang thoughtful. He believes that even though he was having fun, he was always thinking about Xia. When he gets home, he finds Xia awake. He tells her he drank a lot, but he's not drunk, and shows her he can walk straight. He sits beside her and asks her what she's been doing, and she says she was in her room. Xia notices lipstick on his lips and asks what game they played. She looks really upset. Juntang gets uncomfortable and says it's a secret, as he also wants to appear mysterious. Xia misinterprets things and thinks he went too far, asking him if he's the type of person who doesn't know how to refuse even if he's unwilling, and that makes her want to do something. Then she approaches and kisses him. Juntang lets himself be carried away by his instinct. That's where he had his first kiss with the mysterious and beautiful girl. After that passionate kiss, Xia goes to her room. The next morning, Juntang can't believe he kissed Xia. At the door, he sees a room for rent sign, which confuses Juntang. Throughout the day, Juntang keeps thinking about last night's kiss. After finishing his classes, he went to Xia's room to ask about the rental notice. He takes the opportunity to ask her about last night's kiss, as he's been thinking about it all day. Juntang offers peace to Xia, and she kindly invites him in. Immediately, he says they kissed yesterday, and he can't believe it's her first time. Juntang, embarrassed, asks her if it was that bad, and she tells him it was perfect and soft. She reflects and says that when they ask her about her first kiss, she will say it was with the girl downstairs. He asks her to change the subject and insists what the rental notice means. She replies that she wants to rent a room to meet more people. Juntang invites her to eat after the exam to convince Juju. She asks him if she can take his hand and leans on his shoulder. The next day, Juntang can't stop thinking about Xia and what happened. At the end of the day, he meets Juju. She invites him to the library, but they are given seats very far apart. A boy approaches Juju, complimenting her for getting a full scholarship and outstanding grades in all subjects. She invites the boy to eat with Juntang after the library. The boy asks if he's her boyfriend, and she says he's like her younger brother. Juntang gets so annoyed that he says aloud if she really minds being alone with him and leaves with the excuse that he has something to do. Juntang gets annoyed that Juju talked to a stranger, but he realizes that he has done the same and has never mentioned it to Juju. We see Ruoni in the library scolding herself for staying late and always thinking about her ex, so she decides to do something new and rent an apartment outside of school. On the other hand, we see a memory of Juntang and Juju leaving classes. Juju is aggressively grabbed by the arm by her father, scolding her for why she came home so late, who that boy is, and that she is an indecent person who looks like her mother. Juju tells her father that the most embarrassing thing is to have been born into that family and runs away with Juntang. Juju enters the room and invites him to the rooftop, which Juntang misinterprets. From there, the whole city can be seen. Juju comments that it's her favorite place, that she can see the lights and there's a good atmosphere. She says she didn't want to come to that place with him, but she doesn't tell him the reason. This leaves Juntang with great uneasiness, but she slowly walks away. Really, she is deeply in love, but her situation doesn't allow it. That's why she doesn't want to give him false hopes. The next morning, Xia wakes Juntang, and he tells her to find another friend, as he is now thinking about Juju. The doorbell rings. To Juntang's surprise, it's Ruoni moving in with Xia. But let's see how this happened. One day before, Ruoni was looking for a rental as she planned, but they were too expensive. Seeing the notice, she rings the doorbell and Xia answers, dazzled by her beauty. They enter the apartment, showing her a room which had a lot of clothes and bags. Ruoni is impressed with the exclusive bags and Xia tells her she will give her some. Then we return to the moment Ruoni arrives. She didn't think the upstairs tenant would be the attractive boy from the social party. Xia innocently tells him to get along with her. He offers to help with her moving boxes, but she, very annoyed, rejects him. Juntang doesn't understand why she's annoyed with him if they didn't do anything. He remembers she texted him and he didn't reply because he was busy kissing Xia. Juntang wants to avoid talking about what happened at the social party, so he tries to be attentive so that Xia and Ruoni don't talk alone. Juntang offers to go eat and drink. Ruoni accepts, but realizes that he doesn't want her to talk about the topic with Xia. At the place, Ruoni persuades Juntang to drink too much and until the end. Hours pass and Juntang is very drunk. Xia goes out for some fresh air. Ruoni asks him if the girl he likes is her, and they go outside without realizing that Shia was listening to the conversation. They mention the party where they met, and he starts saying incoherent things that are misinterpreted, about how their first encounter was unforgettable and that he can't stop thinking about it. Ruoni blushes thinking all this was about her, but in reality those feelings and memories were caused by Shia. Shia interrupts saying he's too drunk and should go home. They go home, and in his room they playfully mess with each other's hair. After that, they kiss. Juntang asks her if she likes him. Shia tells him very much, that his appearance is perfect for her and his height is adequate. She asks him if he likes her. Juntang is still wondering why Juju took him to the terrace and falls asleep. The next morning, Juntang appreciates Shia's beauty. She wakes up and tells him to go out together, and Juntang accepts. They leave the room, and Ruoni, seeing them together, drops what she was carrying in her bag. She misinterprets it as if they had spent a passionate night, but Juntang tries to explain, but Shia intensifies the situation by making double entendre comments. Then we see Juntang investigating Shia's life. The report shows she has a history of violence. Following this, Juntang calls Guoju to ask if he still likes Shia, but he gets angry upon hearing that. He stays in the living room thinking. Out of nowhere, Shia appears and kisses him. Before Ruoni arrives, she goes to the door and gives her ice cream. Guoju knocks on the door as his mother forced him to bring Juntang food. He sees him through the door camera and thinks it would be a bad idea for him to see Shia inside with him. He stops him at the door and doesn't let him in, which annoys Guoju, but upon hearing a girl's voice, he jumps the barrier and goes in to spy. When he sees that the girl is Shia, he is shocked and quickly enters the room to take a picture. Shia kicks him and with a bad attitude tells him to leave. The next day, Guoju enters Yuan's room again without warning, and Yuan throws him out. When Yuan returns from classes, Guoju is outside waiting for Shia. Guoju brings her a bag of tuna at 6 in the morning, and Juntang tells him that Shia doesn't want to see him at all. Guoju leaves, and at the same time, Shia comes out. He offers her the tuna, she accepts it and throws it on the floor, threatening to blow his head off. These words annoy Guoju as he has been kind to her. The screams make Juntang come out to defend her. Guoju pushes him and tells him their friendship ends there and leaves, jumping the wall. Shia is left with a feeling of guilt, and Juntang comforts her. During the conversation, Shia tells him that she wants to go out with him at the culture festival. Then we see Juntang and Juju walking together. They wonder why Shia left the entertainment world. Shortly after, Juju trips and almost falls down the stairs, but Juntang rescues her. While Juntang gathers the books, Juju asks him for help distributing flyers at the culture festival, as there will be many people. He agrees to go with her. That makes her very happy. We return to the couple, and Juntang tells Shia that he promised to help Juju set up the booth and hand out flyers. Shia tells him to make up an excuse and have someone replace him. He accepts. At the festival, we see Shia heading towards Juntang. Everyone is impressed by her beauty, and Juntang wants to cover her up so as not to attract attention. During the day, they have fun in the different activities. They arrive at the costume stand to return the outfit, and it is Ruoni who attends them. They leave holding hands, and this saddens the girl. On the way home, Juntang is confused by his feelings, as he doesn't believe that Shia really likes him. Shia tells him she wants to kiss him, and Juntang says there's something more than a kiss. Shia wants to know what that something more is. Juju sees Juntang and Shia in the distance and remembers Juntang's message telling her he won't attend. Later, music starts playing and they head closer. The manager, Xu Zhenxi, invites them on stage to win a 300 yuan coupon. Xia gets on stage and people start recognizing her. Xu Zhenxi asks her if she came with someone and if she wants to confess that way. She doesn't answer, gets very nervous, and freezes. Juju comes to her rescue and takes the microphone to sing. She says that confessing is something very private. Juju starts singing terribly, and the audience at first looks disgusted, but then they join her. Xia gets off the stage and takes refuge in Juntang. Juju wins the coupon and goes home. The next day, Juntang asks if Xia is okay. She quickly takes him into the room. Ruoni invites her to eat, but she doesn't want to eat. Juntang asks her what she wants to eat, and she replies, him. His heart beats very fast, as being alone in a room makes him very nervous, but he still kisses her. Xia asks him to stay a little longer, takes him to bed, but suddenly his emotion stopped when he saw her eyes so serene, as if nothing was happening. He tells her not to worry about what happened on stage, as Juju stole all the attention. She takes a negative attitude, saying he shouldn't thank her, as she didn't ask for help. She raises her voice, causing Ruoni to approach and ask if she's okay. Juntang leaves the room, leaving Ruoni confused. The next morning, Xia apologizes to Juntang for what happened yesterday. He tells her to let go, as he's going to university. Xia watches from the door as he walks away. We see that at the festival, students watch Juju's video and her performance. Juju receives a message from Xia inviting her to stay at her house. Juju thinks she can't go, as the last time she stayed out of the house, she was scolded. On the way, students mock Juju, telling her she looked like a singing parrot. Juntang takes Juju's hand, who was almost hit by a car. Juntang arrives home, and Xia waits for him near the entrance. Juntang wants to go inside as he has homework to do. Xia asks him if homework or her is more important. Juntang tells her homework, of course. She asks him why he's been avoiding her since earlier. He says they're better off as friends, but Xia doesn't want to let him go. The next day, Juju and Xia are having lunch. Xia says she wants to talk to her about some love problems. Xia, as at the beginning, invites him to different places and is rejected, but in the end, Juntang falls for her charms. Xia goes to the university, attracting everyone's attention, including the drunk man from before. Juntang grabs her hand, and they run away. Juntang invites her to have a drink at home if she wants to be with him so badly. He buys the drinks, but we see someone in the bushes acting suspiciously, like a paparazzi. Upon leaving the store, Juntang sees Roni and approaches to help her open a beer can. Xia feels watched and makes sure it's not the case, but upon arriving home, the stalker is hiding. When discovered by Juntang, he runs away, hiding his identity. Juntang hands the drinks to Xia and tells her to go inside. Ruoni is falling in love with Juntang, as he is attentive to her. On the way, she wonders if she really likes him. Upon arriving home, the stalker is there and he escapes, pushing Ruoni towards Juntang. She blushes as she hadn't been so close to him. Xia finds them hugging and he tells her it's an accident, but she starts laughing for no reason. The following days were rainy and the girls' spirits were down. Juntang organizes a barbecue. They also invite Juju, but before that, Guoju arrives to apologize extravagantly to Xia. When Juju arrives, she brings desserts. Following this, Xu Yunzi also arrives and the meeting begins. They share and have fun, however, Xia continues to be photographed. A conversation arises and Roni says it would be great to be famous. Xia asks what kind of life they think a famous person leads. Each one gives their perspective of what their life would be like being famous. Xia adds that it's very different from this, because being famous means having no private life. The boys notice a camera flash from outside. Guoju snatches the camera and Juntang goes after the stalker. They fall and Juntang uncovers the stalker's face. At home, he confesses that he is from his university's photography club and that he was only curious and has not shared any of the photographs. Xia says not to report him, as that doesn't solve anything. She suggests taking matters into their own hands and giving him a small lesson. The boys argue, as Juntang says the law doesn't allow hitting others. Xia says it doesn't matter how she feels. He interrupted her privacy. She enters the house, leaving them to make the decision. Juntang says it's better not to do anything, but Juju takes the lead and hits the stalker on the head with a bottle. She threatens the stalker, saying that if anyone gets too impulsive, they would have a very bad time, so it would be better for him to shut up. Juntang tries to call the police, but Xu Yunze tells him they could be cooked, as it's a crime to form a group, intimidate, carry a weapon, and commit violent acts. We see scenes where Xia is forced to wear provocative clothing. She gets tired of it and leaves. We see her trying to smoke a cigarette, but she can't. The next morning, Juntang enters Xia's room and tells her that they didn't do anything against the stalker, but Juju gave him a good hit. They managed to get his student ID and an oath with his fingerprint, which says that his injuries were from a fall. Guoju and Yunze went to his house to format his computer and make sure there were no photos left. Xia rushes to hug him and asks if she can kiss him, and he tells her no. She insists it be on another part of the body, but he tells her no. Then she takes his hand and kisses it. Juntang is embarrassed and Xia thanks him. He leaves the room and meets Roni. He has a hangover and asks her what she's doing there. He walks and says nothing happened. Days pass and Xia did not report the stalker to the university, but she says she won't let him off that easy, as she has his social media and will keep an eye on him forever. She says that if he's a professor, she will accuse him. If he has a restaurant, she will put a sign on the door. Roni and Juju arrive to enjoy and eat chicken. They say they want a big chicken with melted cheese. To this, Juntang wonders since when they get along so well. He realizes that Xia has changed for the better. Shiyunzi tells Juntang that Xia used to like him, but says he shouldn't get close, as she's 21 and seems to have experienced a lot with many people and strange things. Shiyunzi advises him to let her go. Juntang says it's true that sometimes she has strange behaviors, but she's no longer the same. She looks calmer and more positive, but still maintains her mysterious side. At home, Juntang is exhausted from finishing his final exam and decides to sleep on the sofa. Xia asks him if he didn't sleep yesterday. He says he hasn't slept in 3 days. She tells him to go relax somewhere. As long as they are together, it will be fine. Juntang turns to look at her and notices she is blushing, looking at him, and teases her. The doorbell rings. It's Juju with a large suitcase asking if she can stay for a few months, as things happened and she had to leave home. Xia shows her the remaining room and tells her it's the smallest but best equipped. Juntang leaves for the end of semester party. He is intrigued to know what happened to Juju. He wants her to tell him without having to ask, as he doesn't want to pressure her. Juntang sees broken bottles and remembers what happened on barbecue day. He accidentally pushes a girl who was taking photos and they invite him for a drink, but he declines. For a moment, he wonders where he is and looks around. We see Ruoni, and she thinks she should raise her standards in men, as she doesn't like those men who think they are bullies, nor those who think they are in good shape. She can only think of Juntang, who arrives right next to her. Juntang says he accidentally arrived there and didn't know such a place existed. He notices Ruoni tied her hair up and tells her she looks better with her hair down because she would resemble a dog. This displeases Ruoni, asking him if he already likes someone. What is he doing around there? Xia likes him and Ruoni thinks they are secretly dating, but Juntang teases, saying he doesn't think she actually likes him. This makes him reflect. Ruoni thinks that what he said about having liked someone a long time ago doesn't mean he still likes them. She concludes that he probably has nothing with Juju or Xia, and thinks about the possibility of something happening between her and him. Juntang says he feels the same as her, as he feels the angel of love brought them there, because it's too much of a coincidence. Ruoni blushes and thinks he's talking about them, but he's actually talking about the couple in front of them. Ruoni laughs and cries at the same time because she realizes he doesn't feel anything for her. She understands she misinterpreted all his actions all the time. She tells him to go to the riverside while she deliberately lets her hair down. She says they should seize the moment and talk freely with her. She takes his arm and says to let her be his close friend. He thinks women are very difficult to understand and that he also doesn't know why he's dying for Xia. They return home the next morning, and outside the house is Xia, who sees them very close. Juntang excuses himself, saying he can explain. Xia asks him if he's not tired and that she'll text him later, this with a calm expression, which embarrasses Juntang even more. Juntang changes and receives a message from Xia saying they'll meet at 4. Afternoon arrives and Xia waits outside for him to go to the cafe to eat something. In the cafe, Xia starts questioning Juntang about how he met Ruoni by the river. He says it was pure coincidence because he wanted to eat street food and didn't expect to run into her there. After walking a bit, he twisted his ankle and had to accompany her to the hospital. Next to them is a very much in love couple, and Xia wants the same cake as the couple and orders it. Juntang continues telling his story from last night, but Xia seems not to be paying attention. Juntang finds it strange, as it looks like they are on a date. She invites him for a drink, but he reacts and asks her why she looked at him that way in the morning. She replies that simply, he was the one who wasn't comfortable because she was just looking at him. He says it looks suspicious because he was with Ruoni arm in arm. She says confidently that she doesn't care, and that it's impossible for him to like other girls having such a beautiful girl like her under him. He says it's true. She invites him again for a drink, but he tells her she doesn't drink and that they should go home. He throws his cap on the floor and throws a tantrum, which leaves Juntang confused. She complains, saying she twisted her ankle and it needs to be disinfected with alcohol and that they should go for a drink. Juntang bursts out laughing, but Xia tells him it really hurts. Xia tells him to carry her, but he says it's a bit inappropriate, and they walk away. Upon arriving at the place, he realizes he left his cap on the ground. Juntang says it would be better to go look for it, but she says it doesn't matter, and they toast. She comments that she really doesn't like liquor at all because it's too bitter. Juntang then asks her why she came to this place. She replies, to drink with him. When he takes the first sip, he says that drink tastes like honey. The rice wine is very good and he drinks it quickly. Juntang warns him not to drink too much because it's very strong and it will hit him. They share a nice moment, and when Xia takes Juntang's hand, he pulls it away, thinking it's too cheesy to drink. Then they hold hands and end up kissing. He remembers his promise to just be friends and wants to remain firm after what he said. Xia confesses that she invited him to eat because she has something to ask him. She says that tomorrow she will meet someone who is neither Juju nor Ruoni. Then he remembers there was someone she had met when she was a singer. Xia is not completely sure about going. Juntang asks her if they don't get along. She replies no and starts playfully asking if he expects it to be a man or a woman. He goes to the bathroom, avoiding the question and trying to repress his emotions. When he returns, he realizes there's a line of men trying to get her attention and trying to get her phone number. She rejects them one after another. When Juntang approaches Xia and answers her question, he expects it to be a girl. She hugs him, saying they are on a date. The guy criticizes him, saying he looks very bad. Juntang yells that he just woke up and went out like that. Xia laughs out loud, telling him that next time she will let him know in advance. Juntang eagerly awaits the next date, but still wonders if he will meet a boy or a girl. The next day, we see Xia lying on the floor with nausea. Juntang brings her honey water. She drinks it and immediately vomits again. Juju asks if she's going out in that state. Juntang says yes because she has a date with someone. Juju comments that it looks like they had more than one drink yesterday. Juntang doesn't understand why he feels guilty. Xia comes out of the bathroom asking for her cell phone. Juju asks her if she's really going out like that, and she nods. Xia realizes her phone barely charged, so she decides not to take it. Juntang asks her who she's meeting. Xia tells him it's Xia Yan, leader of the group Dream Suite. Xia leaves in the rain and meets Xia Yan. We see a memory of Xia and Xia eating at the most famous restaurant. She invites her to drink because they should celebrate that they could reunite. Xia orders a blue Hawaii and a non-alcoholic cocktail for Xia. Xia sees the delicious food that other people eat in that place. Xia invites her to toast to their future. Xia feels happy to have found Xia, and she asks her how soon she thinks they can move to the exclusive residential area. Xia says she wants the 10th floor because it's neither too high nor too low and maybe has a terrace. She says she'd like to live in the penthouse. They continue talking about how beautiful it would be to see the lights from up there since they have always seen them from below. Their moment is ruined by camera flashes. Everyone approaches to take photos of them because they are more beautiful in person than they look on screen. Someone shouts that they are superstars from the Dream Suite group. Xia gets annoyed and tells them it's their private moment, but Xia takes her hand and thanks them for their support. After that, their fame soared, partnering with renowned brands. On the runway, Xia notices paparazzi taking photos under her skirt. Xia demands that the paparazzi are negligent in taking those types of photos. The manager tells her to put up with it, as she is the most popular in the group, and those photos will help her earn more money. Xia says that ruins her private life, as she has seen many repulsive comments. The manager tells her that famous people don't have private lives and that she must be prepared for the good and the bad, as that's what she works for. She advises her to enjoy the privilege that everyone would wish for, but she doesn't enjoy any of this. She is forced to sacrifice her privacy day after day and to put on a mask. She questions whether she really wants that. She leaves, and behind her goes Xia, telling her not to be so stubborn, that if they don't fight for their place, they will be replaced and forgotten. She tells her she must stop acting like a child to endure, and that everything will pass. She slowly walks away and tells Xia to forgive her, but she can't get over it. We return to the present, and there they are, facing each other. The waiter brings their order and asks if they are Li Xia and Xia Yan from Dream Suite. At the same time, they answer no, and that he is mistaken. The waiter apologizes and leaves. Xia Yan tells her that she should at least cover her face when going out. She tells her that she doesn't care at all. Xia also tells her that the vanilla shake will make her fat. Xia tells her it's none of her business. Xia asks her how she's doing. Xia regrets having gone to see her. She replies that she sleeps until she wants and goes out for a drink from time to time. She also tells her that she will start studying soon and that makes her happy. Xia asks her if she's happy because she no longer has to wear the mask. Xia Yan's phone starts receiving multiple calls and she has to leave. Before leaving, she tells her to enjoy her life, to sleep and eat whatever she wants. Xia asks her if that's a way of apologizing, and she replies yes. Xia wishes Xia the same and breaks into tears. Upon leaving the place, Xia enjoys the rain, letting the drops wet her, touching the flowers, remembering Juntang and admiring the landscape. When she gets home, Juntang asks her if she didn't have an umbrella, which is why he sees her wet. She says not to worry, as she wanted to do it. He asks her if she had a bad time with her friend, to which she replies that, on the contrary, she had a very good time. Juntang goes to the store to buy snacks and offers her a hot drink and catches her by taking her hand and then kisses her. Just as Ruoni comes out, she sees them kissing. Juntang remembers Xia's words on different occasions mentioning what she likes about him. Ruoni interrupts and Xia roughly pushes Juntang. Juntang says he was going to the store and asks her where she's going. She's going to the hairdresser, but she wonders why Xia is wet. Juntang stays behind the door wondering what had just happened and why she has been acting so differently. His phone vibrates. It's a message from Xia that makes him so nervous he almost drops his phone. Then a message arrives from his father telling him that tomorrow is his mother's birthday. Afterward, he reunites with his family and wishes his mother a happy birthday. His mother asks him for the gift, and his father tells him that had it not been for him, he wouldn't have come. Juntang, embarrassed, tells his mother he will buy her a gift tomorrow. His sister teases him, saying he will buy the gift with his parents' own money. His mother asks him why, if he's on vacation, he doesn't go home, and also asks why his grades are average. His father reminds him that he had said that when he entered university, he would get a scholarship. His mother adds that he also said he would tutor to cover his expenses. His sister asks him if there is anything more important than his grades and asks him directly if he has a girlfriend. This arouses great curiosity in his parents, who tell him to comment on the situation or if it is a secret love. He denies everything, and his parents mention a big-eyed girl. They talk about Juju. They already knew about the whole crush situation and that he would have gone to study at the same university because of her. His sister asks him if he already confessed. He says it's not what they think, that he's been busy and that she wants to win the scholarship. The meat burns and Juntang becomes thoughtful. Upon arriving at his parents' house, he goes to his room and receives a call from Xia. He asks her if she has something to tell him, but she replies that she only wanted to hear his voice. He asks if after hearing him she feels better, and she replies yes. She comments that she wants to do whatever she wants, like getting wet in the rain, raising a cat, hiking, and even falling in love. She wants everyone to know about their relationship, and that if he confesses, she wants a very large bouquet of pink roses and heart-shaped candles like in the movies. Juntang is shocked by what he just heard and realizes that Xia likes him and is waiting for him to confess. He receives a message from Juju telling him to wish his mother a happy birthday from her, and then they meet for a drink after a long time without seeing each other. Later they meet, and Juntang and Guoju are playing to see who is the strongest, a fight which Guoju easily wins, as he is in very good shape. Juntang decides to go for more beers as they are running out. Juju asks him to buy peanuts for her. She will give him the money later. Juntang leaves. Kuironi looks at Juntang with interest, but her eyes are fixed on Li Xia. On the way to the store, Li Xia decides to accompany him to the store because she wants to buy ice cream. Juntang tells her to buy a large one so everyone can eat. He comments that it wouldn't hurt her to gain a little weight, so people wouldn't notice her so much. They like each other, but neither has confessed. She corners him in an alley and kisses him, telling him that if he doesn't like her, to walk away and not give her false expectations. Xia leans on Juntang's shoulder, but he tells her to be careful as Roni might appear and see them again. Xia jokes, telling him he was too distracted to notice that, and corners him, telling him that only then will he think of her. They slowly approach and kiss, dropping their ice cream. Someone came out of the house. It's Juju. After that, Juju becomes thoughtful, as she sees that she has always been ahead of her. Moments before, we see how Guoju teases Ruoni for not having confessed to the boy she likes, and they knock over what was on the table. That's when Juju decides to throw away the trash and thinks that all her life the most important thing was to obey her father. But when she decides to take the first step, she sees them. The next morning, all the mess remains, and Ruoni calls Juntang to also come and clean. Juju tells Xia that she didn't expect them to be dating, as she expected her to tell her. Xia says they are not dating yet, and Juju gets annoyed. Juntang is very confused, as Juju has smiled at him very differently, but she shows no interest. So why did she have that look last night? At the end of class, Juju sends a message to Juntang, telling him to meet after class at the university. Juntang wants her to say everything she has to say, as he has already made his decision. Juntang asks her if she was able to sleep, as she looks haggard. She tells him she hasn't been able to sleep. She tells him she will move and drop out of university to work, because even with a full scholarship, there are external expenses like paying apartment rent. She says she will tutor and save until she gets a formal job. She says it's just a family matter and nothing else, and that if she's telling him that, it's because she likes him. She begins to say that she liked him even before entering university, but her father wouldn't allow it, as he is a strict man. She says that once her 14-year-old sister came home holding hands with her boyfriend and her father slapped her in the condo parking lot. She says that after all those prohibitions, she likes him, but she doesn't know how to approach him. When she tried, he already had someone else. Then she invites him to the cinema. She buys the tickets, and he buys dinner. Inside the cinema, she whispers in his ear saying she hopes the movie is interesting. In the end, they leave happy, as the movie was very good and interesting. Juju gets excited when she sees a claw machine. Juntang is determined to show his experience with the machines, but after several attempts, he gets nothing. Afterward, they go to karaoke and Juju sings a song. Juntang seems to enjoy the moment, and when he offers her water, their hands touch. Juntang thinks Juju is cute. At mealtime, they look at the menu and order the couple's package, feeling embarrassed about it. Juntang remembers Xia and looks at Juju, saying it's as if he had gone back in time, wishing that moment had happened much earlier. After eating, Ju stops and asks Juntang if he has time on Friday night, as there's a fireworks show. Juju confesses to him that she already knew he liked her, but tells him she had her reasons for pretending she didn't know, and apologizes to him for pushing him away all that time. But seeing him so close to another girl, she simply can't pretend she doesn't care. She starts crying and tells Juntang to think about what she told him and leaves. Every word Juju said was what Juntang longed for most, but why does it feel like a thorn piercing his heart? Juntang realizes that he is the reason she is crying, and he wonders what he can do in those situations. When he enters the house, he also finds Xia crying, but she wasn't crying from sadness, but from spicy noodles. Xia asks Juntang if Juju has feelings for him, and for that reason she stayed overnight with a friend, and asks if when they went out she confessed her love to him. Juntang is disarmed by Xia's guess, and asks her if she's not uncomfortable that Juju confessed her love. She asks him if he seems indifferent, and teases him by telling him not to get confused by a kiss and hug, to make a decision. She kisses him on the cheek and leaves. Really, she has him in the palm of her hand. Friday arrives and Juntang meets Juju. She thought he would stand her up. He tells her he's coming with someone else. This greatly annoys Juju as she realizes that the guest is his mother. Juju thinks it was his idea, but it was actually Xia's, because when Juju moved in with Xia, she received a call from Juju's sister, who tells her that their mother is in the hospital, has few days left, and asks her to tell Juju. Xia gets very nervous to the point of revealing all the information she knew about Juju. Therefore, her family would come for her at any moment. Juntang tells Juju to talk to her mother, and if something goes wrong, he will be waiting. Juju approaches her mother, and Juntang, seeing Juju's face, is glad he made the right decision. Later, Juju arrives home and finds Juntang outside at the table. Everyone went out to see the fireworks. Juju thought he would go without her. He asks her about her talk with her mother. She tells him it went really well. He's very happy to hear this. He apologizes 100 times with push-ups for having gone to the date with his mother. Juju approaches and asks him what was the rush to bring his mother, as it seemed they wouldn't see each other again. That night, his first love comes to an end. Then, Juntang confesses that he likes someone else and starts crying. Juju tells him there's still time to see the fireworks, so they go a little further to be able to see them. At the traffic light stop, Juntang has memories of when he was with Juju. He teased her like any boy in love, asked her for advice and teachings just to keep her close. We can see how most of the time they spent together flirting and talking. Juntang remembers them as good times and cannot hold back tears. They arrive just in time for the fireworks show. In a playful tone, Juju tells him she will push him and everything will end right there. Juntang calls her skinny and asks her how she can do it. She tries to do it, but she can't. Then she feels Juju's tears and crying, asks him why he changed and why he likes someone else if she wanted to be his girl. She calls him silly because there are many boys after her, and Juntang apologizes, as he only recently realized what he wants. He cries and shouts, "Sorry for Jiayi and Jungsi." Juju asks him who they are, and he replies that they are the names of his 2 children. Juju turns around and tells him many times that she likes him a lot and asks if he feels the same way about her. He replies yes, but love needs time. She feels grateful. When the show ends, Juntang wonders what Xia might be doing. He reflects on their story and would never have thought of becoming a boyfriend to someone as beautiful as her. He rushes home, eager to see her. When he gets home, Xia, Ruoni, and Yunzi arrive. They see him looking terrible, and he unexpectedly confesses to Xia in front of them. Xia is happy about this and approaches Juntang, kisses him on the cheek, tells him she likes him too, and goes to sleep. Ruoni and Yunzi are shocked and annoyed by what they just witnessed. Yunzi grabs him by the neck and asks him since when they've been dating. Juju packs her things and Juntang asks her if she's really leaving, and she asks if he really thinks she's going to stay and watch him and Xia show affection. Juju and Xia talked about what happened on stage. She realized how she escaped with Xia. Juntang helps her with her suitcases and Juju tells him she won't talk to him anymore, as she will be very busy, and wishes him the best for his relationship. Xia approaches Juju and gives her a drink. She asks her if she likes Juntang. She says that even though her confession wasn't with flowers or candles, she does like him. Juju smiles and leaves. Juntang and Xia say goodbye to Juju together, and Xia teases him, saying to go and buy the bouquet of flowers. She tells him that being with her can bring him thousands of good things. She whispers something in his ear in a playful voice that makes him blush and run off for the bouquet of flowers. He buys the flowers for that girl who drives him crazy with her black hair and red lips, and once again asks him to say what he feels for her. And so ends The Girl Downstairs, a story in which we see how love perseveres despite difficulties. A young boy who faced confusion with his feelings, but in the end was able to make a decision, and that it is possible to have freedom of choice and happiness after leaving a controlling world. If you liked the video, leave your like and share it with that person you would watch this summary with. Remember to subscribe for future videos. We will see you soon for a new love story.